How's it going, guys? It's Tucker Tuitions here, and today we're going to be talking about factorising double brackets. As you can see, I've got this example on the left hand side. But before we do that, let's have a look at what to do. So let's say I go backwards. Let's say I've got something like this. This is the form I'm going to want it in at the end. Let's say I've got a number A and a number B. When I expand these out, I get x squared plus a plus bx plus ab. What that tells me is this number ab, I'm going to call this my product. And it means that if I find two factors of this number that add up to the number next to the x, which I'm going to call my sum, then I can factorise it from this nasty little quadratic into these double brackets instead. So what I'm going to do by using this knowledge is I'm going to now factorise this one. So 12 is my product, positive 12. I'm going to write out all the factors. I'm going to do 1 times 12, 2 times 6, and then 3 times 4. And I need to pick the two numbers, as both these signs are positive, that add up to 8. 1 plus 12 is 13, no good. 2 plus 6 is 8. There we go. So when I draw my brackets, I put an X and I put an X. I know that I could put 2 and 6, add them together, and I'm done. That's all you've got to do when they're all positive. When they're all negative like this one, it's slightly different because you've got a minus this time, which means when you multiply the two numbers together, it's negative. So negative 18. That means I can have minus 1 times 18, but also 1 times minus 18. Neither of these two have got a difference of 3. So I carry on. I've got minus 2 times 9 and 2 times minus 9. Neither of these got a difference of 3 either. So I keep going. 3 minus 6 and then minus 3 and then plus 6. So it looks like 3 and 6 are going to be my numbers. But it's choosing the right numbers that go inside my bracket. That's important. Minus 3 plus 6 gives me plus 3. So therefore it's going to be x minus 3 multiplied by x plus 6. Now I'm going to have a look at the case of what happens when we've got a number in front of this x. What do I do when I've got a 4? So like I was saying, we've got this expression here, and we've got it this time in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c. And again, on this right hand side here, I'm going to write down how to do it. So my step 1, from this form here, I'm going to multiply my number in front of my x squared by the number on the end. I'm going to multiply that by that. So here if I just write my step 1, just writing what I'm doing, 4 times 3 equals 12. Now my step 2 is I do what I did in the earlier ones. I want to find factor pairs of 12 that add up to the sum, which in this one is our 8. But I'm just writing the instructions down so that you know that you can do it for any of them. So let's have a go. Step 2. 12, I know I've got 1 times 12. And then another pair, 2 goes into 12. 2 times what? 6. 2 plus 6 add up to 8, so I'm done. I know I've got 2, and I know I've got 6. So I've got 2 here, and I've got 6. Now my step 3, and this is probably the most trickiest step. You're now going to split. You're going to split it up. And what on earth does that look like? Well, what you're going to do is you're going to take 4x squared plus 8x plus 3. And this 8x here, we're going to use the 2 and the 6. We're going to split it into 2x plus 6x. I'm going to write just underneath here. And then I'm going to attach on my 4x squared and then my plus 3. My step 4, I need to factorise. And you're probably thinking, how on earth are you going to do that? And the way that this is going to be done is that I first check, does 4 and 2 have a common factor? Yes, it does. Does 6 and 3 have a common factor? Yes, it does. You're going to take the first 2 terms of this and the last 2 terms of this. So my step 4, if I look at the yellow, 4 and 2 have got a highest common factor of 2. X squared and x have got a highest common factor of x. I open my bracket. 4x squared divided by 2x, that gives me 2x. 2x divided by 2x gives me plus 1. Close bracket. And I'm done with the yellow. Now I look at the red. The highest common factor of 6x and 3 is just 3. Open the bracket. 6x divided by 3 gives me 2x. And then 3 divided by 3 gives me 1. So what you can see now is now I've got a common factor in this expression of 2x plus 1. And this is the final line I'm going to draw now. I'm now going to take out the 2x plus 1 and write it on the left hand side here. If I cover up this 2x plus 1, I'm now left with 2x. And I'm going to open my bracket up and write 2x. Likewise, if I take 2x plus 1 out here, I've got plus 3. And when I close my bracket, it's then factorised. And you just follow those 4 steps and you're done. If you didn't know how to do it before, stick with that method and it will work every time. Just make sure the 2x and the 6x here, for example, that they can both be factorised on the left like this and on the right like this. Okay, let's have a look at the next example. Now this example is basically a difference of squares. And it's difference because it must have this negative here. It must have a negative. It doesn't work with a positive. So all you need to do is take the square roots of x and the square root of 36. The square root of x is x, write them both here. Square root of 36 is 6, write them both here. And because a plus times a minus gives me a minus, that's all I need to write. Because 6 times x, that gives me 6x. And x times minus 6, which gives me minus 6, would cancel out. Now if I do this one, it's no different. It's no different. Why? Because it's still a difference of squares. 16 is a square number. And x squared is a square number. A square number times a square number, and you're going to need to know this for the course later on, is also a square number. So 16x squared is a square number. 25y squared, 25 is square, y squared is square. So therefore, it's a difference of squares, which means I can use the trick. So the square root of 16x squared is 4x. Square root of 25y squared is 5y. So I'm going to write my brackets. 4x goes on the left because it's the positive one. 5y goes on the right because it's negative 25y squared, and then plus and minus. And that's what you have to do for that one. So have a go at these ones. Pretty much all the same examples that we just went through, and see which ones you can get right. So I'm just going to pause the video here, and then I'll go through how to do them. Okay guys, let's go through the answers. So with A, this one is, first one is a negative. So I'm going to write my brackets. I've got x and I've got x. I want two factors of minus 24. That's going to add to 10. And I know already if I've got 6 times 4, it's going to give me 24. But then again, that won't work because one's positive, one's negative. What if I try 12 times 2? That gives me positive 24. But one's got to be positive, one's got to be negative. So if I make that minus 2 and then minus 24 here, 12 take away 2 is plus 10. So it works. So we've got x plus 12 and then x minus 2. On the second one here, I'm going to create my brackets here. X and x. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 plus 3 is 5. Now for C, I've got 6x squared plus 26x plus 8. Really annoying, really complicated, but we're going to do the same method as last time. So I know that 6 times 8 gives me 48. And I know that 24 plus 2 gives me 26. That also multiplies to give me 48. So I'm going to split it up like this. And then factorise it. So I've got 6 and then an x. And here I've got x plus 4 plus 2 multiplied by x plus 4. Therefore, I can take x plus 4 out. And what am I left with? 6x plus 2. For D, x squared minus 49, that's the difference of squares. Square root of x is x, that goes at the start. Square root of 49 is 7. Put the 7 there, plus, minus. Final one here. The square root of 9x squared is 3x. Because again, this is a difference of squares, this one. And then square root of 64y squared is 8y. Plus and minus. And I'm done for part 2. So many thanks for watching, guys. That is the double brackets, how to factorise with them. The next example, I'm going to go through the cubics. Please leave a like, subscribe, and a comment if you want me to go through anything in particular in more in detail. Other than that, I'll see you in the next one. Our calculator. Bye!